And the question was, did they take and pass a polygraph test? Did they take and pass a polygraph test? He didn't answer it. Later, Tatum said that he meant a voice stress analysis. But that's not the question Nancy Grace asked. And those are not the same thing. In a case where every word matters, precision matters. Now, look, I can't tell you exactly what Brandon Tatum's motivations are here, and I'm not going to pretend that I do know them. I have some ideas, but I do know this, and I want you to hear me very clearly here. If your goal is to help these teenagers, this strategy is not working. This ain't it. This ain't it. If you're trying, maybe you genuinely think you're trying to help them while you're enriching yourself. In my opinion, it is making more people suspicious, not less. It's creating more noise, more distraction, more arguments around personalities instead of evidence. And yes, I question whether all of this serves the interests of these teenagers or the interests of the people building audiences around this case. And that is a fair question to ask. And also, it is very clear evidence of the difference between I don't want to be rude. I could be so rude right now and just rip this man apart. Between a so-called content creator and an actual journalist. Brandon Tatum, leave the questions to the professionals. Meanwhile, back in the real world, we're still waiting for what actually matters. Ben Crump is expected to speak today. By the time some of you are watching this, you may have already spoken, and we're coming on the air or streaming right now, though we're still waiting, okay? And so Ben Crump announced this yesterday. He says he's going to share updates on this case and other cases as well, which he believes somehow are the mysterious deaths of young black men. So if he answers questions, we're going to tell you what he said. If he raises new questions, we're going to tell you that too. And if the biggest takeaway is what the investigation continues, well, we're going to tell you that honestly as well, because that is our jobs. The truth doesn't arrive on our schedule. It does. The truth arrives when it does, whenever it arrives. And our responsibility isn't to fill the silence with speculation. That's why I said leave some of that, leave the investigation to the professionals, to the investigators. Brandon Tatum is not an investigator. He's not even a cop anymore. I'm not even sure how long he was a cop. I don't know. I was listening to my friend D.L. Hughley. He said that he was a failed cop. I don't know. I didn't know Brandon Tatum. I met him and heard about him for the first time.
All right, so they basically saying that this Brandon Tatum dude just immersing himself into the storyline, and it's looking like he trying to side with the kids that witnessed the murder. I think this bot dude choked Nolan Wells out, hit him over the head with a pipe on the boat. And all them kids witnessed it. This is my opinion, allegedly, and this is what I think. And that's why when he called talking about the boat sinking, and you hear something in the background, fuck bot. Is he dead? Nolan, wake up. Shit like that. This is what you hear on that call. They keep playing it back, And this bot dude, they gonna get him if this the case. This was his girl. I guess when he was gone away to Wyoming, This Katie lady was young lady was messing around with Nolan, and Nolan knew about Bach. But see, men have to be careful when you're dealing with women because they'll tell you one thing and then do something else. Like I remember, for instance, I met a young lady, and you know, her guy was incarcerated, get ready to come home, and I guess her friend they were on the outs. I got a call out the blue from this young lady and said, yeah, I'm getting ready to bust her bubble. I'm like, what you talking about? So I'm like, where all this coming from? I'm like, do you like me, or why you doing this? And she said, to be truthful, yeah, I think you cool, and you chose wrong. And the irony in that whole conversation, I told the young lady that did the telling about her girlfriend had a guy that was getting ready to come home. And she was like, you don't want to be mixed up in nothing. So if I was you, I would leave her alone. So I confronted old girl, and she was like, yeah, it's true. And she was like, well, that's why I ain't tell you, because, I knew you was going to just do this. I like, what you mean, just do what? You was going to get scared and run away like a punk. I like, first of all, you need to let me have that choice. Do I want to deal with you knowing that, okay, maybe you're not with the guy now, or are you? You need to be upfront and tell me the truth. So the fact that you're acting like you acting, and instead of saying what you should have said, well, he went to jail and I told him I'm moving on, and if I meet somebody, then we done. But if he come home and if I'm single, then boom, we can try to work things out. But she never said that. She tried to defend that I ain't tell you because you was going to run like a little punk and woo woo woo. I'm like, okay, so to me, you still dealing with the dude. You taking his calls and you telling him you love him. So therefore, when he come home, he expecting to be back with you. And yeah, I don't want to be caught up in the mix or nothing like that. So this is what I think happened with Nolan. She telling him one thing, and then when dude get back from college, and now they saying he was on the island, so therefore he was on the boat. This is what I'm putting together and what I'm thinking. You feel me? So yeah, this bot is the main character in this whole fiasco, and he come from money. His people like NFL players, and they got the whole town backing them, and so it's like the FBI need to, go in and really get the facts. And if they don't do it, the internet gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? Cause somebody gonna slip up and say something incriminating. That's why, again, like the title, if you didn't do anything, why did you lawyer up? Them kids on that boat witnessed a fight that turned into a homicide. And that's where it all started, and the cahoot started from that point on. And it's all over this girl, Katie. You know what I'm saying? And like old girl that I asked her, like, what's up? Why you being a tattletale on your girl? Or she like, yeah, I think you cool, and I say, well, from my recollection, I tried to talk to you first, and you was playing hard to get. So this is a game y'all play. Y'all go after each other, guys who potentially like you. So it's a competition. So that's what's going on. So that's why you telling on her. to me, so I leave her alone. And that's just what happened. I left her alone. Cause I ain't wanna be in no kind of lovers quarrel. And I ain't got time for that. You know what I'm saying? So and then again, you know, let that be my choice if I still want to deal with you. You know what I'm saying? And if you had gave me the truth in the beginning, maybe we could have, talked about it. You know what I'm saying? It probably would have ended up the same way. I was gonna keep it moving, you know what I'm saying? You know, but you give people a choice. Just like the women say, don't lie to me, give me a choice, give me my choice. And I hate to say it, they right. Everybody need their own choice to make a decision whether they gonna go through with doing something or not. People don't like when a decision is made for them. So I mean, if you genuine, it means something. If you're not, it don't. So end of the that's end that's the end of you know end of the day. That's what's happening. But I like to say happy anniversary to my wife Michelle Chambers. Uh, we celebrating 11 years. Matter of fact, let me give you the video I woke up to. You know what I'm saying? You know, my guys be, tripping about being married and locked down. And I'm like, man, look, first you do have to be ready. I'm not going to front on that. But it's not a bad deal, especially when you're aging. Me and my wife got together when we was 44, and we both divorced. And so this is our second time around. And I really believe I'm doing a better job this time. I made mistakes in the first marriage that I'm on top of now. And I think I could speak for her, you know what I'm saying? We talked about what hurt us in our last marriages, and we promised not to do that to each other. And we 11 years later, we building, we elevating together, and you know what I'm saying? We doing what we do, man, at the end of the day. So yeah, we got the grandbaby and my niece, my great niece, hanging out with us, so they surprised us with a video this morning. So, you know what I'm saying? Getting my massage on, I got my massage machine, while I'm sitting here talking to y'all, I'm getting my feet massaged, you feel me? We was just at the movies, went to see the Minions and the Monsters, my great niece and my grandbaby, you know what I'm saying? You know, your boy just woke up to a good breakfast, that's an anniversary breakfast. Mackerel fish, grits, eggs, toast, yeah, some orange juice. Yeah, that's how we giving it up. You feel me? Bought my lady flowers, cards, you know what I'm saying? And that's how we doing it over here. You feel me? For sure. Play out a video. Thank you. Hold one up. Hold one for me. You hold one and you hold one. We got put y'all to work. My wife don't like to be recorded, That's 11 years. Just that's why she ain't right here. Just hold it right there. Enthused about looking into the camera. One and one, 11 years. Then she was like, you don't even let me get ready and comb my hair. Like I say, them the best videos. My mother
Come on,
used to
y'all
say
gotta
that.
get the video right. All right, 11 years. 11 years. All right, thank y'all. All right, cool. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Hold one. Hold one up. Hold one for me. You hold one and you hold one. We gotta push y'all to work. Hold one and you hold one. That's 11 years. Just hold it right here. Just hold it right there. All right. I see. 1 and 1, 11 years. Hold on. You got it on. Turn it. Hold it like that. Hold it like that. Hold it like that. Come on. Y'all gotta get the video right. All right. 11 years. 11 years. All right. Thank y'all. All right. Cool. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, so that was my morning. That's what I woke up to. You feel me? And yeah. So all right, let's continue with the feature, man. I'm getting ready to go. I'm gonna cut this short and revisit it, but we're gonna see if we can get to 30 minutes. Gotta drop my great niece off to my sister, and they get ready to have a girls' day and whatever that mean, you know. Think she picking up my nephew later too, so it's Thursday. It's summertime, you know. The kids not in no summer camps because the prices are ridiculous, and so we like, you know what? We'll keep them home and we'll do activities, you know, day to day. So we went to the movies, we went to the zoo, we went swimming, and that's not all in one day. These are days that we've been doing since they've been out of school. So we go to the park every day and let them play with their friends and meet new friends. And yeah, man, look. This is what it's about, man. It's like, you know, when you're young in your 20s, you painting the town red, but you know, as you age and mature, you know, it's about family, man. That's what I'm that's just my opinion. It's about family. It's about creating your own family, you know, and watching you direct the narrative of raising kids, building them up to do great things like win championships, graduate high school, graduate junior high, graduate grade school, graduate college, graduate high school, and then go on to do big things in their career. This is what it's about. And the whole journey and the in between of that. You know what I'm saying? Then it's a great thing to find a partner that's just not your partner, but you know, not your just your wife or just your husband, but they also your business partner. That's what I have now. I don't just have a wife, I have a business partner. And we bringing our resources together and we doing it big, you know, in our own way. We in our own lane. We ain't following nobody doing what they doing. We don't feel like we in competition with nobody. We doing us. And doing us, we've been doing a great job. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what it's about, man. You know, and watching our kids grow up, watching the kids grow up and have kids, man. I'm documenting everything, pictures, videos. You know, when the kids are babies and now they grown, I got all the pictures and videos. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's a beautiful thing to just be able to reflect like that. You ain't got to keep everything in your mind now. Everything is right here in that device and on your social media. Uh, whoever you cool like, whoever you know your social media outlet is. You know where you store your videos and your pictures. So if you lose your phone or something about your phone get damaged, it's on your page, on your social media, and all you gotta do is tap in and put them back up. Come on, Slim. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think I'm so passionate about this on the stream because